everyone? Welcome to Naked. I'm Nicole.
Keisha.
And Deanna.
And this is Naked.
Whoop, whoop.
We are back with review number 3. Yes. 3 with the 13 things mentally strong people don't do. We're reviewing chapters 7, 8, and 9. Let's just get right into it. Well, first of all, what y'all been into?
Ooh, it's a loaded question.
Sounds like it. I mean, you can take a sigh before you answer.
Just know there were no denim panties.
Oh, look at you. Okay.
There were no denim panties.
Look at you.
But yeah, I graduated my child. My child is across the stage. He is now adult.
You have a grown
I
up.
have a grown ass kid. And then the next day followed with my middle one's birthday, who turned 16. And then my youngest one will be 12 on Sunday. So it's been back to back to back.
Oh, busy.
Busy. At the graduation, there's only 88 students that graduated.
Okay.
Graduation is supposed to start at 8 o'clock. Did not end until after 10:30.
Why?
AM
With
or
8
PM?
PM.
But they only had 88 students to
We only had
graduate.
88 students. So why did this graduation take so long? Okay, so the principal had to give a speech and highlight all the students who are getting scholarships. That's great. Perfect. I love it. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't 88 of them, though.
No. And then the valedictorian had to give her speech. Of course. Then there was a drum solo with dancing.
For
That was
45 minutes.
10 minutes long.
I mean, that ain't too bad.
No. Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
If
it
they
is.
do a
10
drum,
minutes.
a drum thing, I mean, if they're doing entertainment though, like 10 minutes is not that long. I thought you were gonna say something.
5
ridiculous, like
minutes.
they did a full concert.
5 minutes.
10
That's
minutes
it.
of listening to a drum and watching
It was
crazy-
drums only, like not music.
It was a drummer because
One drummer? I thought you
he is
meant like
a
a-
drummer
Okay, so
for the band.
that is a
He's
pretty good solo.
graduating. So I don't remember if there were a couple other drummers up there, but then they had African dancing.
Yeah.
And that's fine. 5 minutes is max. There's no need for
Okay,
this
so
to
I
be
mean,
10
yes, for one person to be up there for 10 minutes, that is long. I'm surprised that anyone was able to come up with a solo for 10 minutes. But if it was like even a small group, especially if they had like African dancing and they were doing the little, 10 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes max. Then they had a video of all the teachers
Gosh.
The teachers.
saying
Oh, saying bye.
bye.
Oh,
wish you
that's
well.
sweet.
Yes, it was sweet. But again,
I feel
Let's
like
knock
this
out
is
a
like a church graduation. Like, this sounds like...
this was drug out. And then there were a couple students that were in the videos thanking their moms and their grandmas and whatever. And then the main
She's so mad
speaker,
about it. She's so
Still,
mad.
the
It
main
was
speaker. Who was
the
the main
keynote.
speaker?
W. Shauna Gibbs.
Well, how much time did they give her?
She had like 10 or 15 minutes.
Damn, she
I
didn't
was
get no more
like-
time than the drum solo?
That was long too. Like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Well, the keynote speaker's supposed to have the majority of the time.
5 minutes.
Oh my god.
Because that's a long time. First of all, you're talking to high school students. They are not listening.
They're not.
They're not listening. Okay, so that means you're talking to the parents. The parents is, we're at South High School.
Oh,
We are ready
you have
to eat. It is now not, and of course, we didn't start on time.
Of course not.
It didn't start till like 8:30.
Well, I thought you were going to say it was supposed to start at 8. We got started at 9:15.
Oh, 8 something. 8 something. And then there was a key passing for the class of 2019 to the class of 2020.
I'm
And
here
as
for all
a
their
South
little traditions.
graduate-
I'm here for it.
I don't remember any. I think it was I'm a little salty because I didn't have any of this stuff at my graduation. And so I'm feeling a way. Like, I didn't. And then I turned to my sister, who graduated in 2006, and I say, from South High School, and we're like,
You get that.
we get that. I don't remember none of this stuff.
They're supposed to improve over time.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, whatever. Finally, turn the tassels. We're about to let the kids go. So we can gather our children, take our amazing pictures, and go eat.
Touche. Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to Fat Man. This is the children's father. And I see something out the corner of my eye, and I'm like, that don't look right. And all of a sudden, I see fists swinging up. And I'm like, in the graduation?
Please tell me this wasn't
Was it the kids or the parents?
These were kids at first.
Oh shit.
And then I see chairs flying. And I was like, get my grandmother out of here. And that
Yes.
was my only concern at that point. So Sean, Jasmine's fiance, told me a parent did jump in at one point. So some parents did jump in at one point. I don't know because I gotta get my girl out of here.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure nothing crazy happens.
That's right.
But yeah, there was a brawl at the graduation.
What can you be that mad about?
On
You know-
graduation, at the graduation ceremony.
They were hungry because that damn drummer was up there for all eternity.
It's not
That's-
there for all
They
eternity.
were hangry. Them people were hangry.
But my grandmother said they were probably jealous because they didn't get to graduate.
Ooh,
I was
Ooh.
gonna ask, were these graduates?
Oh,
Or these
2
were-
graduates came from the front, made sure that they jumped into the
stop
brawl.
it.
Cap, gown, suits. Yes, they're in the fight too. Yes.
Stop it.
Yeah. So embarrassed. One of my clients was there, and she's one of those.
What you
people,
have to be embarrassed for?
Yeah, one of your kids.
Yeah, this one you.
I don't care. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It is.
embarraing.
I
Like,
would
they
have I
already-
would have been feeling personally embarrassed.
They
though.
already talk shit about our school. Like
That is
it's
true.
South.
I mean, y'all
it's,
can-
you know, like they already talk, and it's like,
some of it's warranted.
and it's like, what do you expect? It's South. Of course, they're the ones that got into it. Right? There's a whole nother graduation going on around the corner. Ain't nothing happened at that graduation. You know.
But the Bulldogs.
Graduation.
Bulldogs over here rumbling, literally.
Oh my god. How are you that upset and that angry at a graduation?
But
But
it,
I think
it wasn't some of the kids that were in the graduating class, right?
So
Well,
no.
Two of them.
2 of them came in.
Entered
So I
it.
think what happened was, this is probably something that happened from the streets or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
They was like, oh, dude's here. Cause at the end of it, there was a bunch of dudes just standing at the door. Cause you had to have tickets
Yeah.
to get in. And once you came in with your ticket, they took your ticket. So there was no way you could be like, oh, I'm gonna just pass this on to somebody
Right.
else. No, like they took your ticket. You didn't have it anymore. So I think what happened is, and by that point, it's the end of the night, the end of graduation, they're no longer taking tickets. So there's a group of dudes just like standing at the back. And I think like they knew whatever dude they've been looking for, he was there. He walked past. And yeah, the chairs started flying. And I was like, really chairs?
At the graduation
At the
ceremony,
graduation.
like y'all couldn't wait to get to the parking lot.
That's why I was like, y'all could wait. Well,
That could have been worse. It could have been worse because people could have went to trunks and things. and-
yeah.
But
Was anybody seriously hurt?
I don't think anyone was seriously hurt.
That's good.
Yeah. And 12 was there, like that. They were already. In
I was
the
gonna say
building.
they had.
they were
been
already
there.
in the building.
Yeah.
And they shut that
And where was the graduation at?
convention center.
They acted a fool at the convention center.
Damn. Columbus Public will not be welcome.
They will not.
No, South won't be welcome
South
back.
will not be welcome.
They'll be like, oh,
I'm like,
Centennial, it's
you
okay, come
You
on.
only have an 88 anyway. You guys can fit in high school gym.
Yeah.
Just have it in your own gym.
Have it as your gym on the field. Have it on the field. That's fine. Just like Bexley does. It's fine. It's fine. You don't need to come here.
The year I graduated, I remember London's class was even smaller than that. London McKinley.
Yeah.
I think that was the year. It was like 12,
So first
What?
off, first
15. It was real small. Some
First-
so
so
I'm
first
maybe
off,
exaggerating, but it was a super small number.
because that's what it was like 2002.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
you're
then,
talking 2001. First off, Linden, like when we were in school, like just infamously did not have large classes,
yeah.
like
Wow.
at all. Like, oh, y'all got 30 kids?
That's a
Like-
charter school.
I'm surprised Linden is still open at this. Is Linden still
It
open?
is.
I'm
And it's in
surprised.
elementary. It starts at 7th grade.
I'm surprised they're still open.
It's because they started at 7th grade.
But they got a grant. They got a nice ass school now.
Oh, do they? I mean,
So
a
the
nice
South.
a nice school doesn't mean
No, they
obviously
said, and they
they
said as
have.
soon as they brought those 7th graders in there, ruin the school.
Really.
Yes. Yeah, that's what one of the a teacher told me this. They said as soon as they let those middle schoolers in, ruin the school. I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah, so that was my expensive. And listen, we were hangry. I'm like, and you want to fight? That means I can't get to the Cheesecake Factory.
So what you're telling me is the graduation was technically over and it's 2 hours at 10, but because Negroes want to be Negroes,
Yes.
we was delayed another 30 minutes.
Yes.
So the drum solo really wasn't that bad.
It was bad. No shade to him.
I mean,
He
they
did
had
a
to make
great
up for
job.
time because they only had 20 minutes to walk 88 kids across the stage. So
Oh, and they did not do that in alphabetical order either.
what the?
Yeah,
What?
they didn't do that in alphabetical
So
order.
wait, how did they?
How did they do it?
So the students, which I thought this was a cute idea, the students got to pick which teacher they wanted to present them with their diploma, and so you had to go in order of your teachers. So the
In
teacher,
alphabetical order. That
I think it
way?
was alphabetical order of the teachers,
Okay.
and then the students were from there. So
Listen, when I tell you my high school graduation was a blur, I can't tell you who the speaker was. I can't tell you who
Me
actually
either.
handed me my diploma. I don't remember none of that
I
shit.
think the principal handed me my diploma.
Maybe. I feel like there might be a picture.
There's
with the
definitely a picture somewhere.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know where it's at.
Where was graduation then? Was that at the
Vets
old the vets?
Memorial.
Okay. Okay. Mm.
But yeah, so
Alrighty.
that's and no interesting. Oh, the only interesting thing that happened at Walmart when I went to get my popcorn is I got stopped at the door to see my receipt.
For popcorn?
For popcorn?
Well, I don't know what. I also bought water, and so I was like, so it's me and then this old black couple, and he's stopping them, and the old black, she's like, this has never happened before. I said, I know, me either. And he said, I need to see. I said, for what? What do you need to see? He was like, your open items. I was like, this 42 case of water? Like,
I'd be like, go check the cameras. Go find something productive to do and go check the cameras and
make
And
sure
look
that my
at-
cart doesn't get stopped in the.
how about that?
How about that?
Because I'm carrying this 42 case of water out.
Exactly. All was so mad. I said, okay.
Walmart good for that. They good for
You
it.
should have been a jerk and been like, just for that, let your manager know that I need your assistance to carry these 42 bottles
Please
of water
and
out since
thank
you
you.
stopped me because I could have been at my car by now.
Please.
Now my
Girl,
arms are
you know
tired.
that man that's checking the receipts ain't capable of carrying shit out of that damn store? Walmart.
No, he was younger.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was
Because
younger.
they always be
He
giving
was
me like
like,
the
it
purple.
was like, no, it was like he was a dickhead. Like he was ready to be like, no, you tried to swipe 22 bottles when you really got the 42. Like, bitch.
Oh my
It was on
god.
his day. Everybody's a suspect.
Yes.
Yes. You old hoes, goddamn. That's not an old thing. Not with my years. This has never happened to me before.
That's exactly how it was. So, we'll see next time I go get my popcorn, which will be on
Tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Right.
I have 2 full bags right now, so Wednesday.
So Sunday.
That'll be until Wednesday.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
funny.
all. So what's going on with you?
So I started online dating
Shut the. You didn't tell me. When did you start this?
like Monday.
Are you getting off already?
It's awful.
Which one are you on?
So I joined Bumble.
Okay, that's where
So
you get to pick.
yeah, so like Bumble's kind of like Tinder in the sense that like you're swiping like back and forth, but the girl has to initiate like contact. So
Okay.
like I can't get a bunch of like crazy like messages in my inbox, which I'm thankful for.
Right.
However, first off, there are like a handful of tall black men on this website. Like there's like a handful.
Literally a handful.
Just a few of them. But I'm just like, listen, y'all not about to what you doing me to death every goddamn day.
So you hit
WYN.
somebody up and they hit you with the what you doing every day?
What you doing? Well, sir, it's 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning.
I want work. I hope that you're doing the same thing.
What are you doing?
Hour later, what you doing? What you up to? I'm over this already. I'm over it already. And I know I'm really trying to be open. Candace and Sade lectured me about being open, so I'm trying. But I'm gonna probably be off this shit by the end of the weekend. So
nothing that you've like thrown your hat out there.
I mean, there's a couple that are like, they look cute, but like one of them has like 4 kids.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell
One,
you right now.
one of which is like a baby.
No, absolutely not.
You ain't got to tell me.
He's still with her. She doesn't know he's online dating.
And then there's
Yeah.
another one who. So first off,
Baby.
like the baby is less than a year old.
Oh, nope.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yep. Listen, clearly we didn't notice until like, we started
Closure
talking.
has not happened.
Look
so
here.
No.
He's still with her.
He's
Pretty
still with
much,
her.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then there was this other dude who kind of looks like the WB Frog a little bit. But,
Wow.
listen, he is 6'11".
Stop fooling yourself.
6.
That 6'11" is not overpowering the WB Frog.
So, well,
He gonna piss you off one day. He's gonna be like,
I already started in my
you're gonna do it in his face though. It's gonna be one day he pissed you off. You're gonna be like, you know what?
Childish.
Look at here.
Childish.
This shit ain't for me. Like, it's not for me. I gave it a go though. So, I think I'm gonna give it like a full week. We'll
A
give it
month. I think you should give it a month.
That's a long time. I don't.
I get it.
Don't you got paid for a month though?
No,
Free
I'm not
trial?
paying for this shit. No, it's free.
Oh.
Yeah, Bumble's free.
Yeah.
Bumble's Hinge.
Have you not met me?
in-
What's
No,
Hinge?
I don't know anything about these.
Hinge is comes from my coworkers. So Hinge, you get to like set up like almost like an interview type questions. You get to ask them certain questions, so you don't get the what are you doing? Because it has to be like formulated like a
So
question.
here's my thought on it. So I feel like if somebody's gonna do online dating, I feel like you need to do a legit site where like you pay, you invest. The men
You're
are
really
paying
protected.
like you.
Yeah.
Not even so much as protected, but like you feel
You're
like you're
invested.
invested as much
Yes.
as they are
Yeah.
right are invested. Like this, I think is just like people are bored and they're just like, ooh, let me get on here.
Yeah, because people like dude who's still with his baby mom
Look
can
here.
hop on there.
Look here.
Sometimes. At least he ain't lied to you though.
I mean, true story.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, 4 kids. I was like, oh, okay. You know, how old are they? Oh, something. 10 months. Oh,
Oh,
Even
what?
if they broke up,
We're
he's still,
done
he's
here.
still with
What?
her. He's still with her.
we're done here.
Even if they're not still together, it's
He's still
just
with her.
messy. Like,
Even
it's
if they broke up, he's still with her.
true. I mean, you ain't got to tell me.
She gonna let you know.
But it's just hella messy. Like, I don't want any
You gonna get a
more
friend
parts.
request real soon. Do I know you? And the profile picture gonna be her and the 10-month-old baby. Like,
Hey, girl, hey. A hot mess. So, yeah. So, that's what I've been doing all week.
Well, I will say the bride that I did yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I asked her because I asked all of them,
How'd you meet?
"How'd you meet?"
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
So I can't even say that because there are 3 sets of my friends that are like us that are married because they met their significant
On
others.
Bumble?
Yes, they met their no, not Bumble, but like online dating in
Okay.
general. Now, granted, I get where you're coming from. I already feeling like
Because I'm like, they all say Tinder and Bumble, and I'm like, really?
I just don't like. So I gave it a shot.
Mhm.
I just don't think it's for me. It's
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm not really meeting like quality candidates at the gas station either. Cause
true.
I mean, it's neck and neck here.
I get it.
But this just, I don't think this is my cup of tea. Or
I
if I'm
feel you.
going to do it, I feel like it would need to be one that I'm investing in. Like not like Christian mingle or anything like that, but like.
Farmers only.
So I think I actually have a profile on there.
Why?
I was
Wait,
about to
how?
say,
So
I'll take
I
a
did-
chance on
So
farmers.
so
Farmers,
I did
look
not.
up.
It's like
Farmers only or something.
so I did not put it on there. So Winneco, who's crazy, we this
Those
was
farmers are hard workers though. They get paid.
a girl by. So this had to be
I'm mad that you're actually considering.
right. This had to be probably like 5 years ago. We were all
White
out
people in
drinking.
the country now, a little Nas X got us in there. You might as well get to the, you know.
Girl, no.
I took you horseback riding, and you
You
already
were
got a little
stupid.
taste. Just
No, this was like 5 years ago. We were all sitting around drinking, and I remember Winnicott was like, "Oh, I'm starting a profile for you. It's called Tasty."
would do this.
Listen, he was like, "It's called Tasty Double D," and then I remember like,
That's what the name he gave you? Tasty Double D. Oh my gosh, Tasty Double D.
every now and
Hold
then,
on, no, you got to explain his name. We need to call Winnicott and ask
Get him on the line.
Get him on the line. I have questions.
every now and then, he will send like a group chat, and he's like, "Oh, Tasty Double D got a hit."
Tasty Double D. He was about to set
I
you
hate
up for
him.
all the wrong. Oh,
Oh,
I
I
was
hate
gonna
so
hit
much.
you. Always wanted me. And black
Oh my gosh.
So yes, that is what I've been doing with my time this week.
Interesting.
What about you?
girl. That nothing compared to what y'all been doing. You've been fighting at graduations, and you've been dating farmers and living with 4 kids, and
Smooth sailing for you, huh?
yeah, my past couple weeks has been cool. Last weekend, my mom came in town, and TJ's cousin Monica is here. They used to live in Arlington, Virginia. She's here because her husband's stationed in Bahrain.
Okay.
She's moved here now because now they're getting ready to relocate to Tampa. So she's been here for a few months. So they were both here. We got together. It's supposed to be just Friday night only. People were here Friday. People were here Saturday and Sunday.
Sunday, and that snake.
So Sunday was cool though because it was just my brother and his family. So that wasn't like TJ had smoked this big ass brisket, so we needed help eating it. I actually just threw the
That
rest of it
chicken he
away.
made Saturday was bomb. It was so good.
Saturday they'll end up being like 20 people over here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, unexpectedly.
Friday too, though. I feel
I
like
get
it was a bunch of people Friday too. Well, it was a bunch of kids.
It was just Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck and Katie came. Marcus's kids were here
Oh,
Friday.
yeah,
That's what it was.
yeah.
That's why there were some additional kids. But Saturday it was like my mom's sisters, my cousin, all the kids within those groups,
Wow.
along with all the other kids that were already here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was a
That's
good time.
loud.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
sounds
no.
very
Marcus's kids
loud.
came Saturday. Saturday was
Oh.
a bunch of kids here.
Yeah.
Friday was chill. It was just me, my mom, Monica, her daughter, Chuck and Katie and the kids, and the boys
Yeah.
were here.
Yeah.
Marcus, all the other kids came the next day along with the aunts. Everybody ended up over here. Then Sunday, TJ smoked the brisket, so we told Chuck and Katie like, "Come on over, we need help eating it." Chuck gets to my house through the patio doors here. He's picking with Ishmael because Ishmael's with his shirt off out there. So Chuck comes in, takes his shirt off, sits next to Ishmael like, "I'm gonna do it too." But he like threw his shirt back here by the steps on the little storage thing where the pillows go in. So he goes back to put on his shirt. He's putting on his shirt, and all of a sudden you see him. I got it on video.
Pure comedy.
He stops. He's like, woo, woo, woo. Takes off running into the yard. So we're all sitting there like, snake, snake. There's a snake back there. And sure enough, it was.
First off,
What's funny is the night before, me, Dee, and my mom was sitting out here till like 1 something in the morning.
In his shirt.
No, not in the shirt. It was just on the ground. Like he was putting on the
like,
shirt.
yeah.
Oh,
When his head came through the thing, he must have locked eyes with it like at that
So
moment.
I've never seen anybody move that fast.
The
because
scream.
He made it from the house
From the step right here.
to like back in the yard, back by the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And like
It was pacing back and forth back there like, whew, doing this, like pacing back and forth like, whew.
I've never in my life.
That
It
is
wasn't
so
even a scream. It was like a screech. It was a squeal. I've never.
He was scared. Like you could tell in that, whatever that noise was he made, he almost shit himself. And we just happened to get it on the ring camera.
Oh my
I'll show it to you when we're
Yes.
done.
poor Chuck. But
So then he comes back. TJ and the kids like try to get it to throw it back in the like woods because there's like a creek that runs back there.
Uh-huh.
So we know there's snakes around. But like I told her, all the time I've been here, that's the third one that I've seen like even up by the patio.
that's three.
So-
a lot.
That's a whole hell of a lot.
In like
I'm not even
10
scared
years?
of snakes.
I am.
That's
Oh,
in
you should.
10 years, I'm afraid of snakes though.
three's a lot.
So tomorrow I'm going to get some sulfur and have Ishmael line the yard and the patio and everything with it. Sprinkle it a little throughout the entire yard. TJ
Girl,
told me
I was
to
shook
line
coming
it.
into the house today. Like, I jumped over, like, all the steps.
I haven't
on
been
the
back on
porch.
the patio since that day.
I don't blame you. Mm-mm.
All I did was stand up in my chair and TJ was like, "It ain't gonna jump and get you." Shit, it might. I don't know what they do. They're found in trees sometimes hiding in the
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
So, and then he was like trying to pick it up with like these clamp things. And then Evan was like, "I'm just gonna pick it up with my hand." I said, "No, you're not.
Absolutely not.
Because if you get scared, the first thing you're gonna do is fling it.
Throw
And
it,
if that
yes.
motherfucker comes
Yes.
out, everybody will die in this house."
yes. No,
So,
that's not a good idea.
Then they get to take care of the snake. Chuck comes and sits in this chair right here.
Oh no.
And all of a sudden he goes, "Woo, woo, goddamn spider." I said, "The two things I hate in 10 minutes of being at my house, you done brought both back here. How?
You got to go. You got to go.
You bringing all my fears to me now."
Girl, and we had just said, like, I
Just
hope
said.
there's no snakes back here.
Because I told them, because we were sitting on the patio, and all we had out there was the light was on,
Mm-hmm.
and we had the citronelle candles and the little, what are those things called? The oil things.
The little flame thing was
Yeah.
on there, too. Oh, no,
They
that
had
had burned
turned it
out.
off by
That's
then.
right.
So we were back there just chilling, and Dee kept looking up like she heard rustling. And I said, "Well, you know there's coyotes out here." And she was like, "It's about to go in the house." I was like, "Well, how about we all just turn this way and face the woods, so if something like pops out." I've never seen one. I am lying. I've seen one on 33. The car in front of me hit it, and I hit it underneath or past the car that hit it.
Someone told me about. No, it was a fox they saw. And I was like, "We have fox."
We definitely have some type of, like, wolf dogs of some sort, because I've seen them up by Ackerman,
Mhm.
like, off of 315.
Yeah.
But to just be sitting out here like a sitting
Chilling.
duck
I've never seen one.
while a werewolf comes from about the woods.
Werewolf.
I turned into a werewolf now.
I'm just saying.
I've never seen one. This one was flying across 33 and got hit, and my car
Oh.
rolled over it too.
Mm-mm. Then there was something that was like flying around back there, and it looked like a bat.
She's seen the shadow of a moth on the side of the neighbor's house, and you know the shadow blows it up. So as far as Dee was concerned,
It was a bat.
it was a bat.
Oh, I've definitely seen bats. So I went at the East High School football game. And I was like, "That's a bat."
I don't think I've ever seen one in person.
You probably haven't, didn't know it.
I don't know, but my mom always tells me this story about how I was a baby. She was giving me a bath, like in the bathtub, like the baby bath thing, and a bat flew into the house. Mom left me in the bathroom. Like, she came back, but like the first initial was, "I'm out." And she was like, "Oh shit, I got a kid. Let me go back."
I hope she survived.
It's like, that's where I get this shit from, yo.
That's exactly where you get it from.
Yep. A hot mess. But anywho, alright.
Yeah. So
That's.
yeah.
I'll be watching my step when I walk out of here now.
Girl, I'm gonna have my
Yeah,
flashlight on, don't worry.
coyote, a snake, a spider.
The crazy part though, honestly, is like I would try to fight a coyote. Like, you not just gonna run up on me and not like get kicked. A spider. But see, I would try to
You gonna let it bite your leg off first?
I'm
You ain't just gonna come get my midsection.
I'm gonna try to fight back. Like, I'm gonna yell, scream. I'm gonna try to like swell up on it or something. I'm gonna try to like scare it
I'm
off.
pretty sure you're supposed to just get quiet and still and slowly.
No, I'm not doing that.
I ain't doing that. If I see
She's a
anything,
girl.
if I see anything pop out them woods, I'm running through this glass door and hope either it knocks me out or I make it through. Like either way,
All I know is I'm more
I'm not gonna
afraid.
feel the attack.
I'm more afraid of a snake than I am a coyote.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all I can tell you. I'm more afraid of a snake than a coyote. Like, I feel like with a coyote, I'm at least try to like defend myself if push comes to shove. if a snake rose up on me,
Listen.
like I'm either going to pass out or knock somebody over trying to get out of its way. Maybe both. I don't know.
Probably all.
I don't know.
Stand tall and assertive. Coyotes are wary of humans, and your presence is usually enough to drive off a coyote.
Which is why we don't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never heard of a sighting of it being like in a residential area. Nothing. So I'm pretty sure they probably ended up back there, but if they see people, they go the other way.
Yes, it does say back away slowly and carefully. Never run away.
Well, that's
Throw
all.
sticks or clumps of dirt. The coyote becomes aggressive. So there's your fighting.
He's not gonna get close enough again.
I'm not throwing dirt. Like, what is dirt gonna do?
I'm hitting this. Hopefully, this glass door is open. I can just bust through the screen. But listen, I'm gonna do some
Protect
scary
your
movies.
throat and arteries if the animal attacks you. Avoid harming the animal.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. I hate when people say that.
The first thing I asked her when they was talking about the snake, I was like, so who killed it? Like, I'm confused.
The kids was out back and they wasn't trying to. If it was me, I'd kill that, take that thing and put it right past the head and keep it there until
As
that thing
I
stops
say,
wiggling.
I try not to kill spiders, ants, anything when you're outside of the residence.
Did I send you the link to me?
When
I was putting
you
a hole
come-
in my front.
No,
siding?
once you come in the
This is
house,
outside.
but that's on your property. It's on your property.
If
And that's trespassing,
If
and
I
you
walk,
got to die.
if I walk on the sidewalk,
Trespassing.
if I walk on the sidewalk and see a spider, I'm stepping on it.
Well,
Because my thing is,
that's his area.
you're gonna make your way into my house.
If he's in the driveway, that's trespassing.
First off,
Sidewalk,
Yeah,
Anywhere I'm walking to
public
see a spider, I'm
property.
stepping on it.
So I don't step on spiders because I am terrified of spiders. And I feel like if I go step on it, that it's going to flip over and then all its
Grab your
legs
foot.
are going to like
Ah!
climb down on it. So I don't fuck with them at all. Again, spiders, snakes, all of that. I'm not fooling with them.
This
I'm not
spider
touching
wasn't harming nobody, and I went.
Well,
to
then
ring
you
the
didn't need to
doorbell.
kill him.
Oh yes, I did.
Have y'all seen them spiders?
Yes, I did.
I took a picture of a spider once, and the thing had a shadow. How does a spider have a shadow?
Because it needs to die.
Listen,
Exactly.
if it's in your residence that is trespassing, they gotta
I
die.
can't.
I
can't.
spray and bomb. We spray and bomb every year before they can even like get started.
Well, that's fine. That's called protecting.
But once I see them like be outside the house, they
They
have
got
to
to
die
die.
too because
They got to
eventually they will try to make their way
Wow.
in.
Yeah, and then it's
So-
gonna lay babies and shit, and then you just gonna have a whole damn like infestation of spiders.
Of
You got to
spiders.
nip this shit in the bud.
I almost kicked a
Okay,
hole in the siding of the house.
I mean,
It's on camera.
okay, roll that
I say-
beautiful bean footage as
I
I done said, did you say fucker? I said no. I said nasty fucker. And then
Let's
I
clarify.
proceeded to kick a hole through that wall.
You know, I 300 Sparta kick anything if I can.
If
If you're in my residence,
If he made it
Or
through
my
that
job.
kick, if he made it through that kick, he deserves to like get his way in.
I get it.
But they got to die.
Okay.
A snake, I ain't killing because I'm not going nowhere near it.
no.
No.
That's the only
If I
thing.
see a snake, and I like snakes, but they shouldn't be anywhere near my residence.
What type of old voodoo lady
I
is
do
this?
like snakes.
Why was I over here thinking, oh,
I
itchy,
mean,
itchy type shit?
I'm not scared of them. I don't have a problem with them. Like, I don't dislike snakes. Deanya wants a snake as a pet. She will not have that in my house,
That.
but I don't mind snakes.
Kids is like, it ain't poisonous. All of them are dangerous and poisonous.
They're all
They will
killers.
bite your head off.
They're all
Killers,
killers.
They're
They're
all
all
of them.
killers.
All of them.
All of them.
They're not, but
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
fool with them.
Yeah. They either like either they're poisonous or they're going to squeeze you to death.
Either way, you're dying.
there are no anacondas,
I
okay?
mean,
Who says?
No pi-
Who says?
Okay, alright. Moving on. Are we done?
somebody said my fears were rational. Okay.
Oh
I'm with you. That's what I think. It's gonna bite me. It's gonna squeeze me and poison me. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Even I mean that thing wasn't nothing but like this. But I'm like that's enough to wrap around something.
Yeah, that's huge.
Squeeze. Like you
You
said,
so cute.
guard your arteries.
And your throat.
That was for coyotes.
And
okay?
your throat.
Coyotes.
Uh,
Coyotes. Alright. I can't even.
I would be
All right.
having nightmares.
So should we go?
Apparently, there's something called bear spray though. Just wanted to tell you that you should carry bear or pepper spray. And I didn't know there was a thing called bear spray.
I did know
But let
about
me
bear
tell you,
spray.
Pepper spray works on bears.
So I don't even think
On
bears.
coyotes. But let me tell you something. If I see a bear,
So,
you thought Chuck was fast.
Any of those, anything that can attack me and kill me, I'm not fooling with it.
so I low key got sacrificed to a bear on a hike. So I went hiking.
She was hiking.
Well, that's your first mistake.
I mean, it was a good hike though. We went like trying to find like all these waterfalls in some like forest in North Carolina. So it was a great hike. It was like 12 miles. Or
But isn't that
something
when you
like
lost your toenail too?
that. It is.
Yes.
Okay,
So there's 4 of us. Clearly, I am the slowest one. There's no question about who is the slow one in the group. They're like, oh, if we see a bear, we just have to run. I mean, as long as
Gotta
you're,
run faster than
Yeah,
the last one.
they're like, I mean, as
Is
long
that
as
what you do when you see
as long as
a
you're not the last one, you're
It is
fine.
not. You're supposed to stand still. Actually, I
No,
think you're supposed to like go into a.
No,
No, I
you're
do
supposed,
not think you're supposed to do that.
you're supposed to like put people on your shoulders and get big and like yell at the bear.
People on your shoulders.
That's what they said.
to make yourself appear as big as the
Big,
bear.
yes. So that's
So that
when,
bear
like,
will sit there and wait while y'all get to a position. Like, go ahead, go ahead. I'm waiting. Don't worry, because I'm not going nowhere. Take your time.
so
I've been in
that's
hibernation. I've been in hibernation all winter waiting on this shit. Go ahead.
I got time because
Here, let me help you.
so
You
that's
got
how
your balance. You good?
that's how it came to like nah, we're not doing that. We just need to be. You just can't be the last person.
And that bear goes right one swipe and not. Oh, go ahead, get your pyramid together. I'm about to fuck all you up at the same time. You're making this easy for me. I don't have to chase you.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Who comes up with this stuff?
I have no idea.
Listen.
Yes, the bear is like,
I'm running.
You good, Jet? You
Charles,
good?
come and watch this.
Right.
Watch this.
Look at this. Would you look at this?
Look at this. They doing that stacking thing.
Like, you want to tag team this one? Nah, Pete, you gonna get that one.
I don't know, thinking about the stacking, why did it just make me think about them terrible ass pictures we took?
That's what I thought of. As soon as you said that, I just thought of y'all trying to like do that. I was like, so this bear is gonna sit here and watch us.
And if you seen how long it took us to stack our
That's
thick
exactly
asses,
what I was thinking.
and we
like,
were laying down. We weren't standing up. We were laying on the beach, and it took us 20 minutes to stack our
That's why I was
thick
like,
ass.
who thought of that? That was some
So, Jesus, we the goddamn fools for doing that shit.
Fools.
Like, that's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure dude was playing a trick. Like he was probably telling people before, like, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Got him. Oh my God. All right. Back to the book. Sweet Jesus. Oh my
Bear
God.
over there, like, go ahead. Want somebody?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I got the kids watching like, this is what these dumbasses just let them finish. Let them finish.
Oh my God.
All right, chapter 4.
No.
No.
What?
Oh,
7.
Seven.
Chapter 7.
I was confused when I introduced that we was doing session 3. I thought we were still on session 2.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah,
7,
chapter
8,
7.
9. Yes.
All right. So what was chapter 7? What was the title of that one?
Okay, chapter 7.
Don't dwell on the past.
So yes, very good.
Okay,
They don't
look at that.
dwell on the past. That one started with Gloria and her daughter moving back home. and
Oh,
she was
yeah.
blaming herself for not being a good mother.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, her daughter was like, "I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
In your home.
in your home, and I'm just not gonna do anything." And Gloria felt but like she could let her do this, but she felt bad because when
She
daughter
was raising her.
younger, yeah, she wasn't really there for her,
Yeah.
and kind of felt like this was her way of like making amends, I guess.
Yeah. Which I thought I chuckled a little bit when they made the comment, like, the only thing worse than being a bad parent for 18 years is being a bad
Yes.
parent for another
For
18
another
years.
Yes, I
was
was
like-
like, I did.
Touche. Help this young woman get her shit together.
Yeah.
Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Oh my goodness. No, I mean that just goes to show though that like people do what they know that they can get away with, and her daughter's raggedy. Like, I mean, you can't hold your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like that can't be your reason for making poor decisions. Like always.
Yes.
Like at some point you have to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even what the chapter was about. But I was
No.
just like, as far as the daughter is concerned,
Yeah.
like girlfriend, get your stuff together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's no such thing as a perfect parent out here. We all
At
are
all.
Man.
constantly evolving and still learning, and
Man.
Yeah. But I did like appreciate the whole, don't live in the past. Cause I'm very into living in the here and now. Eckhart Tolle had a book where he talks about the here and now and how you have to focus your energy on the present, trying to live in the past and all of that. Like it's a waste of time. So I can appreciate that. I get it. I think it's easier said than
I was
done.
just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that.
Like it's easier said than done because we tend to learn from our past, and in order to be able to not do things, in order to not want to repeat things, then you're constantly replaying what happened, what you could have done, how you should have handled it, what you're going to
Especially
do
as
different this
parents.
time.
yeah,
Especially as parents, or really any relationship.
Anything.
Any relationship.
Yeah.
Where you're just like going back. And I know I constantly do this. I dwell on the past. So like this chapter kind of hit home for me, and things that I definitely need to work on, and like going through this checklist. And I feel like a couple of these chapters I need to like print out the checklist and kind of reference back, like make sure I'm not doing that.
yeah.
But yeah. Blaming yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't dwell on the past. But yeah. That's what I got out of it too.
Yeah.
Anything else, ladies, from that one?
Yeah. Also from a standpoint, and which is crazy. I think I'm being sent a message here lately because it's like the third time that I've heard the conversation of learning to let stuff go. And because I feel like I struggle with that, especially since Rosa's passing. So I have like clothes that she got me for like Christmas that I haven't touched in 3 years. She's passed away 3 years now. I probably haven't. Well, I won't wear them then. So they're just sitting in the closet, and every time I go to clean out my closet, I'm like, nope, can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I do, it's not gonna change anything.
Right,
Like she's
right.
still on.
Right.
Those clothes are not her. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I even have a this lotion that her and I love the scent of, and she bought me some. And I'm like, I ain't gonna use it because I'm down to my last jar, so I'm like, I ain't gonna use that one. I'm gonna save that one. Just wear it on special. Don't you start crying.
You know me.
But that's all.
I'm okay right now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's take a step.
So learning to let stuff go. Someone else was just talking to me about David Banner had something on Instagram where he talked about that. Like you gotta learn.
So fun.
You gotta learn to let stuff go. Like even like I just said, hold on to certain possessions and things. Like you gotta learn to let stuff go because it also teaches you in other realms of your life to let things go.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I can just start with just getting rid of material things that I feel like I need to hold on to.
Yeah.
I still have Ishmael's baby blanket upstairs that he came home in the hospital for.
I feel like you should keep it.
I'm never letting that go.
Oh, I was like, wait.
Yeah, I still have his I have to tell my age. His what do you call it? Ultrasound. It's on VHS. It's upstairs.
No, I have all the girls. I have all the ultrasounds.
They used to do them on VHS?
Yes.
I didn't get one on VHS, so you was fancy. Mine were regular pictures, but
No, I have to take on VHS. I'm like,
I absolutely would keep that. I don't know what you're gonna play it
well,
on.
that's what I was like.
It's
Who am I
not a
gonna play it on?
VCR, but
Do they even have the converters anymore? You can convert it.
I'm
to
sure somebody
this?
does. I'm sure somebody
I'm
does.
gonna have to travel to like Canada to find that shit.
No,
Amazon?
I'm sure somebody somewhere, some little techie weirdo
Has
somewhere
that,
is doing
yes.
something.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much stuff that I have.
I mean, it definitely dwindled by Kira. She doesn't have as much stuff as Deanya, but I definitely have Deanya's first couple outfits in a nice little box.
I only have his shoes. I don't have no outfits. I have his shoes that he came home. Yeah, that he came home in Ivy shoes.
Some little booties, baby
I
booties.
still have my pregnancy test.
No. I don't know.
So this is not my fault. So his dad made him this picture book, and he taped the pregnancy test
Ew.
along with the ultrasound
To
on
give
like the beginning of the book. So the book is like Ishmael's
Yes,
evolution from
yeah.
like conception to birth to
Now?
not till now, but he could make it.
First, wow.
It's up until he's like 3 or 4, maybe 5.
That is good.
they gonna be like, I don't want this piston. Like,
It's sitting there on his dresser.
and he's a germaphobe too.
I mean, it's got the cap on it and stuff. Like we clearly,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
Elwood, so you know he cleaned it off.
Ew.
But the test is still in his book.
Hilarious.
And now if I found that, I probably would have threw it away. But since it was in his book, I was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
leave it.
you gotta leave it.
I think I'm gonna actually give it to him on Sunday and be like, can you redo this book? Because they're like, the book that he used was like paper, so the pictures are like taped to it. So I'm like, can you do another, like, find somebody to do like some fancy scrapbook where really preserve the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah. The pictures aren't messed up, like they're in perfect condition.
Yeah.
But
That's cute. That's cute.
yeah, so I could use it for like graduation.
Yes.
Get a nice book put together.
Because I could not find Deanna's picture of her first day in kindergarten. She wanted that
Oh, really?
to post for her.
Pretty sure I have all of that. I have like every year school pictures.
I have every
yeah.
year.
I don't have first day of school pictures though. I have like school, like the
Well, hell,
school
since we
pictures.
got Facebook, the majority of
Yeah,
them are on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
Like I can remember as far as back to 3rd grade at least, he has his first day of school pictures
Yeah.
on Facebook.
And I think 4th grade for Deanna, 2nd grade for Nia, and then from there. So I have it from then, and that's the evolution of Facebook. Well,
Yeah.
at least when I got Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah, because when I got on Facebook, I think Ishmael was like 3. He was like 3.
Yes, you have a lot.
Yeah.
I remember when he was teeny tiny.
I know.
It's so crazy. When I see him now, I'll be like, who is this little grown up?
Right.
I'll be like, haha, he's taller than you.
I still be looking at him like, I can't believe I have a child.
A big child.
Big
Like,
child. Big child.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, I think it is hard to just get rid of those things because they're emotional, and like we tie so many other emotions to those things. The other thing in that chapter was like making peace with your past, and for me, that has been really hard. Like my father sent me this big ass letter for some reason, which is still sitting on my counter. I think my grandmother opened it because it's open.
You
but-
didn't open it?
Oh, like
No, my grandma opened it. I'm sure she opened it.
oh, he said this like recently.
Mm-hmm. And it's still sitting on my counter. And I honestly don't have time to read it.
You do.
I don't.
We'll have to do like a counseling session once we get off of here. But
I don't have time to read it.
Okay.
I'm reading this, and I'm in another book club, and I work. And I
We'll
just
come back to
graduated
it.
someone, so.
So my situation with my
have
dad
time.
is not to your extreme, but there was definitely pretty much all my life he was not there,
Mhm.
and he was in and out of jail, all that type of stuff. But and from how we grew up, I used to even blame like even my mom and my stepdad for a lot of stuff. Back to what you were saying about you can't use that shit as an excuse. You gotta like eventually move on. It wasn't until I became an adult that I was like, shit, how am I judge them? I was one bad decision away from being them back then when they was my age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't judge them or hold that against them. They made some bad decisions. Yes, it affects their kids. Yes. But they made attempts. Well, at least my mom really has. Like, as far as I'm concerned, she's wiped her slate clean. My dad has work to do, but I feel like he's starting to get there because he's getting up in age now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, life is just too short to like hold on to that stuff
Yeah.
and lose potential great relationships. And because I think I would feel worse if my dad passed and I didn't make any effort and there was
Yeah.
just nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want that to happen. So
Yeah.
even though I do feel like I make more of an effort than he does sometimes,
It's okay.
it's okay
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
when it's all said and done, I'll feel better for
Yes,
me
That's right.
Yeah.
that I did that. So
So my dad passed back in 2003, and while I had somewhat of a relationship. It was definitely like a strained relationship. Like we lived in the same city, but like we really only saw each other like on some holidays, and then like a week during the summer, like when my half sister would come. So when I got older, I was just like, I'm all the way cool. So fast forward to 2003, I was like, it all worked out. So my financial aid got messed up to where I had to sit out a semester. So I was forced back in Columbus. That semester, my dad got super sick. And he and I were able to just kind of like talk and just kind of like bring things back together. But he ended up passing like during that time that I was at home.
Oh wow.
So my advice to you on that would be, to your point, do what you need to do in order for you to be okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we oftentimes have this sense of, well, I'm gonna do this based off of what somebody else does.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, like, we're not in control of anybody else. And
Back to one of the other chapters.
For real. And when we hurt, we're not hurting because of necessarily what somebody else did or how they acted. You hurt because you feel like you have regrets for how you acted or how you responded.
Right.
So I would say, cover your bases, do what you need to do, whatever that might be. Just take the expectations off the table.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like he ain't shit and you feel like he ain't gonna do shit, and, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
But acknowledge it, know where you stand, you know, just don't hold like that resentment, that bitterness, like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be some tough work, but my suggestion would be to try to work through it. Read the letter, even respond at some point.
And the hardest thing, and the crazy thing, as a child, I had attempted to write him. I think even into an adult, before, you know, internet and emailing and things like that. I am horrible at mailing things.
Girl.
Like, I'm just horrible at mailing things. So, like, I might even have the letter written, a stamp on there.
You don't got time. Are you doing the step better than me? Because I don't got no stamps around
My
here.
grandmother has
Oh,
stamps. It's the only
listen.
reason.
I have a birthday gift in my car that was from May. Joni, I'm gonna put your shit in the mail.
I'm gonna put
tomorrow. It's in my car. Anywho.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give her hers when they come.
There you go. Same.
They're coming here the 23rd this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already told her that. Like, I ain't about that. I'll see you on the 23rd.
I always mail her gift though. Like, it's taken forever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I said we would recreate her birthday weekend because we weren't there to.
True story.
So we'll celebrate it. So anyway, I'm sorry.
That was it on chapter 7 for me. Anything else? No. Chapter 8. They don't make the same mistakes over and over.
Shit.
I do. God.
It takes me 3 times, I think, legit 3 times before, like, I get something.
I mean, they say practice makes perfect, so.
What was the story behind this one?
This one started with the lady who was yelling at her children.
The children.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
And listen, hunty,
I get her plight.
yo, like, I come in the house and I'm like, I'm not gonna yell because I noticed that my children yell at each other and I don't like the way they interact with each other, but I'm like, they're only seeing it
Because I do it.
because I do it. So I was like, something's gotta change. I know they're older, but I was like, I can at least try to redirect. Why is my house clean? As soon as I get the house. You know, it's like, oh, I tried. I really did. And then the next day it happens again.
Yeah. I can see her point because I do feel like, especially when Ishmael was younger, because I was a single mom. I mean, his dad was around, but at one point we were in separate cities. You know what I mean? Like, he just wasn't there for the day-to-day. Like, the majority of the load was on me. And I did yell a lot when he was younger. I actually regret it, like, now.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said, like, if I could redo it, if I could still pick Ishmael to be my child,
Yeah.
I would have waited until, like, late 20s, early,
Mhm.
probably even early 30s, like 30, 32,
Mm-hmm.
to even start having a baby because I didn't have the patience back
Yeah.
then. I was still, you know,
Yeah.
in my 20s trying to kick it, trying to live a young,
Mhm.
single 20 person's life.
Mm-hmm.
And I really was not ready for that responsibility, but I mean, I did it because I didn't have
Yeah.
a choice. But I yelled a lot. And then once I got a man in my life that yelled just as much, I remember literally the day looking and was like, that's what I sound like? That's what I look like? I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
And it made me back down.
Yeah.
So now I'm the one that, now don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
Ishmael pull some bullshit.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I turned to the cousin pastor in here,
Yes.
preaching and cussing all at the same goddamn time.
Same seas.
But like, trash gonna get taken out. I ain't about to raise my blood pressure over that. You ain't do the dishes. I ain't about to raise my blood pressure over that. I may say something like, you know, you're supposed to do this. Why do I have to tell you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come do this.
Yeah.
And he does it, and we're good.
Yeah.
Now grades, I will
Mm-hmm.
get in that butt about. Like, don't let a teacher email me or call me. But what I've learned to do, which I didn't do before, is even in those moments where I get pissed,
Mm-hmm.
once I come down, I come back and try to have a rational conversation.
Yes.
Like, let me just warn you, don't say shit.
Yes. Please don't.
Mhm.
Please.
Just listen to what I'm saying.
Please.
If I ask a question, be careful of how you respond. Do not raise your voice. Do
Tone.
not
Watch your tone.
Do
Watch
not say
your tone.
nothing smart.
In the book, when she said them kids was yelling back, I was like, and they still have teeth in their mouths.
Once I get calm, like, leave me there. Because if I go back up, it's going to be times 10 from the last time.
But I think what she was saying too is kind of like what we deal with, where it's like we do all this yelling and then it's kind of like a yelling
It does
back
nothing.
and forth.
But it doesn't change anything, though.
Yeah. And like I'll catch my kids yelling and I'm like, well, wait a minute,
Who you yelling at?
Who you talking to?
Like, why are you yelling in my house?
Exactly.
Because you yell at me all goddamn day.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that's how we communicate.
Exactly. And it's like that's just how they think. Yeah, because that's all. They
Which,
know.
I mean, when you think about it, like,
And again, we're in a different time.
We're in a
Before
totally
we got
different time.
We were slapped. The shit got slapped out of us.
either my mom was gonna knock me silly, like, depending on what it was about,
Mhm.
or my mom was the queen of taking my shit away. And she wouldn't even, like, she wasn't about to go back and forth with some kid
Yeah.
about what she was doing and why she was doing it. Like, if she asked me to do some shit and I didn't do what I was supposed to do,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go looking for my phone in my room. Like, because at that point I had a room phone, and that shit will just be gone. I'll be looking under the bed and shit. Mom, you see my phone?
Mhm.
Remember
Yes,
that
I
shit you said earlier?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to pull out my burner
She's
phone.
like,
Because I had a fake burner. I had like another like room phone that I like hid under my bed.
listen,
So yeah.
when we got grown
That's hilarious.
and I left for college and they like cleaned up the room because me and Aaron shared a room, there was like 20 landline phones.
Yeah, that's what they like, the landlines. Yeah.
Because what she would do, I didn't care about that phone because I ain't really be on the phone like that. But Aaron would. So every time they took the phone, we had our own line. We had a separate line.
I did too. Yeah.
So she would go to school and tell one of her friends, bring me an extra phone because I got on punishment and they took my phone. So kids was bringing her like extra phones, or she'd have $10 and tell somebody, go to Family Dollar and buy
And
me a
go
phone.
get this phone real quick. And I would just wrap the cord around it real nice and tight and stuff that thing right up underneath my mattress.
It was like 20 landline phones, all different kinds.
20.
I
had
maybe
to-
exaggerated. It was
I
a
had-
good like it was like 8.
Yeah.
It was like good like 8.
I just had one backup. But the only thing with the backup was like, so, and this was like middle school,
Like,
like
you can't put the ringer on.
you couldn't have a ringer on, and like if somebody called the house, you had to call like time and weather and shit, so that the house phone wouldn't ring, so that my mom wouldn't hear. It was a whole ordeal. But again, my mom wasn't about to go back and forth with me about why she was taking it. Like I would just go
And you
looking
didn't
for
have
it.
that. Once she said she got it, you didn't even ask no questions. Like, why did you take my phone?
Right.
No.
You know why I took your phone.
Right.
I already
Better call
know.
Tyrone. Oops, guess you can.
My mom has hijacked my car keys before, like once I got older, like when I was like 16. Like, oh, you thought
That
you
is
was
what's gonna be funny to me with Devon when the girls actually are driving, and like him gonna try to take Deanna. I can just see him trying to take Deanna's keys because of something. I'm like, No, she's an adult now, right? You can't.
I mean,
She's not gonna give him the opportunity. I mean, not saying she'll like try
Right.
to stop him, but
Right.
she ain't gonna be in the vicinity
No.
for you to
You
even.
gotta catch me first.
Yeah,
I think once she gets a car, she will not be. But
No.
you know, this will just be fun.
Especially because she already knows like he's strict about certain things. She'll be like, "Alright,
Yeah.
I'm not going over there. I'm trying to do this weekend. I'm not going over there. Stay away."
Yeah. It's interesting. But what I liked in the chapter, with that first part, which I just thought was interesting, how she said, like, I don't yell at my coworkers.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, why can't I not yell at my children?
Yeah.
And I was like, but I think because our children have a special way of tap dancing on our nerves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's the emotional attachment to it.
Yes.
And I mean, when you're at work, like, I mean, it's great that she tried to put like that whole educational component. Like, I have a master's degree. I'm smarter than this. But like, our representative is who the fuck shows up
At work.
That's
like,
true. That's very
that-
true.
For
That's very
sure.
That's not the real you.
true. Mhm.
At home, it's the real version of you, stripped down, butt booty, like this is what
Butt
you
naked.
get.
Yeah.
That's what you gonna get.
Indeed.
And what we're not gonna do is have some 12-year-old and a 15-year-old in here hollering back at me.
Right.
Yelling at you?
Yeah.
I don't.
Wait a minute. Did she say yelling at her?
She.
They were yelling
Or
back
They
at her.
said that the kids were yelling back at her. What? No. Mm-mm.
That's different.
No.
I never experienced that as a child coming up, and I've never experienced that as an adult being yelled at by a child.
Mm-mm. I know better.
I know better.
But it's a different age, a
It
different
is,
day.
It is.
So.
And I try to keep that in mind. Like I always like when Ishmael does stuff, I'm like, you was doing the same shit at
Right.
that age. Like how many times were you told to clean your room, and any way that you could shortchange that shit, you did. If you was told to do some chores and no one was home and you didn't do them and just made it look like you did some shit, rearrange something to make it look like you did something so you can get out to wherever you're trying to go.
Girl.
I did that.
I definitely used to sweep like shit into my closet and then just shut the door.
Shut the door.
Like
Looks clean to me.
it looks clean.
Don't open that
Now,
door.
You
I
open,
mean,
the,
open that door.
you
it's
open
an
the
avalanche.
closet. I don't know what the hell going on, but
I don't know what's going to hit you first.
there's nothing on the floor.
There's nothing
So
on
That was my go-to, the closet, because we weren't allowed to have stuff under our beds.
really,
Why?
It's interesting. My mom and aunt, they're old school. Old school.
Well, my grandmother pretty much cleaned the house and did everything. But when I had my own room, like, because I had nothing better to do, my room was always clean because I just had nothing to do.
that was not my ministry. But my mom also cleaned my room until I was like 13 or 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all some spoiled ass kids. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
my
I
grandma
remember.
did not want us touching her dishes to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like that about my pots and pans now. Like Ishmael Morgan, like when y'all cook, when I say clean up after yourselves, that means put your dishes away that you ate with, wipe down the counter, stove, and all that. But then pots and pans, I will get those. Leave it
Yeah.
there, because it ain't like they cooking like a 4-course.
Yeah,
They making
right.
noodles or
Right.
something.
And if it's good pans though, you don't want people using like them scrubby things.
Well, I
scratching
should
up
have
the
told TJ that.
Uh-oh.
I have
Oh.
copper pans. This dude took a scrub block to it and scrubbed up.
Oh, scratched out.
The big one too with that. I mean, I have like an oversized frying pan.
No.
Those red pans.
Yes,
Oh.
the red ones. He couldn't do it to the stainless steel one because he's saying he could have scratched. He could have used it on that, scratched that shit up. It ain't gonna do nothing.
Mm-mm.
The copper ones though,
Oh
Mm-mm.
I looked at that shit like,
no.
so whatever. I could about to burn right through this.
Right.
Oh my god.
It's no longer even heating.
No.
Yeah, I'm so sad for you.
I
Yeah,
know.
very
I'm so
sad.
sad for you.
Very sad.
I'm gonna have to find that one frying pan and try to buy that over. But I got them like 2-3 years ago. I'm sure I'm not gonna get that exact one.
No.
The red with the copper. It's not gonna be that one.
Mm-mm.
Nor that size.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was like, I should have been telling you. Your ass don't wash your hands in this
Don't
house.
wash. Yeah. No, my grandma said, do not touch her dishes. No one can wash them. How she washes them, and so.
Yeah, I feel like the dishes was really the only thing that I like had to do up until my mom started making me like clean my room, and that was awful. Like I remember when my mom made me like make my bed for the first time.
You just like, what is this?
Like I cried because I struggled
I
with
have
that,
straight A's.
that goddamn fitted sheet, like trying to put that shit on like the corners,
Yes.
and then
When
it
you
was
get to
so
that
pop,
last corner.
and she would like pop up.
Yes.
Listen, I remember bawling in my room.
Yes.
Sitting on my bed, just like sobbing, like I feel so defeated. Like I
I
need
don't
help.
know how to do
Yeah,
it.
you didn't buy a fitted sheet.
A fitted sheet.
That shit was terrible.
No,
It was
but I get
awful.
that. I still fight with mine to this day.
Oh my god. Well, now I don't, because I just buy sheets that are too big for me.
So you don't have this
No,
problem.
the trick is the first. You gotta when you do the corners, you gotta get it all the way up under there. You can't just slide it over like the top. You gotta get it well under the mat, and then when you get to the last one, it will
Yeah, I'm
pull a
too
little
lazy
bit, but
for
it won't
that.
flip all the way up.
The struggle. The struggle.
I mean, it's just me, my popcorn, and my teddy bear, so I don't really care.
Nah, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I think I still struggle making beds
I
because,
definitely do.
like, the sheets that I own, like, I buy sheets that, like, tell me, like, what side it, like, goes.
I do not.
Like-
I do not do that.
Yeah, like, my Casper sheets definitely say, like, top and side.
I love
Like,
Casper sheets.
like, on the side. And I'm just
Very
like, I need this. I need
I
instruction.
just hold up and measure like, okay, these two are closer than these two.
I
so
be
this is
trying, but the
top.
whole
I
thing
just
it
keep
be so
playing
big.
around
Yeah,
until
I
it
just keep
fits it.
flying. Like, if it's not labeled,
Well, if you hold it up, like, because the two ends that go on the top and bottom are closer together.
yeah, that's what they say.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
However, I'm just going to play the.
Oh, that didn't work. Slide
Gotta
to
be
the
flexible.
Oh,
We only
my
do that a
God.
couple times. It's gotta work.
Lord. And then I see videos of people folding fitted sheets.
Oh,
and I'm
hell
like,
no.
I've tried all the
I
tricks,
tried
me
it
too.
tricks,
It
and
does
it does
not
not work.
It doesn't work. However, somebody, so at the studio, sometimes I'll leave the sheets there and wash them at the studio. And I came in yesterday and they had them folded so perfectly. I said, go do this.
and can you come to my house and do
Yes.
all of
And
this?
do all of mine.
Yes, they had the fitted sheet folded perfectly.
I will get them first two corners together, but then the bottom don't match, and I end up doing this.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That's my go-to.
Yes.
Boom. And then you just smash it on down, fold the sides,
Yeah.
and throw it on in there.
Yep. Same. Like I'm trying and no.
Oh my God.
No.
All right. What was chapter 9?
Chapter 9, they don't resent other people's success. So I think we all laughed about Dan and him.
Neighbors had him losing his marbles.
His
Listen.
neighbors, he was jealous of his neighbors. They had new toys and new things. But his wife wasn't working. She was a stay-at-home mom.
She was working at one point.
Yes,
She decided she
they
would quit her
decided.
job and become a stay-at-home mom.
Exactly.
Which clearly was not working.
No, and he was mad at her. He was mad at the kid. He was mad at everybody
Mm-hmm.
and blamed the neighbors for why he was so angry.
Because they were successful.
Because they, yes. But he also did say that it started from when he was a child.
Right.
And he didn't have all the latest things and got teased. And so he didn't want that for his children, which I completely get.
Right.
And I have
Right.
definitely done the same thing. Like, my kids didn't get to do this, or I didn't get to do this, so my kids are doing this. Like,
Yeah,
I definitely have been a victim of doing that. But this chapter for me, like, I actually read it today, and I was just like, ooh, am I jealous? No, I don't want to think that I am, but.
Well, the book talked about, though, how jealousy and resentment are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Like, jealousy is when you're like, oh, I'm jealous. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
But, like, resentment is like, oh, I wish I had that and they didn't have it.
Yeah.
I don't think those are two different things.
And like, fuck them for having it.
Yeah.
And if you lose it, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
No, what got me is when they talked about someone being upset that their friend got a bunch of likes for their birthday. And I was like,
Yeah.
Who
how
is
did you
this?
get mad about some likes?
And apparently it's a thing because they did research. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of people that were mad that their friend. And first of all, who's counting?
Who's counting?
Counting.
I don't
Who is counting
care.
that?
I
don't
never
care.
went to anyone's page and was like, let me see how many likes they have.
That is a lot of time on your hands.
It's a lot of foolishness in your head.
That too.
I just don't care about social media like that.
At all.
No.
At all. Like, I post stuff because it's fun and, like, we can keep in touch with, like, people who we went to school with or grew up with and you don't see. But I'm not posting this shit like if I don't get likes or if nobody sees it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's not changing anything that I'm doing in my day to day.
Well, I will say for me, it's not about the likes or anything like that, but I will see like people, like when I was following a whole bunch of like yogis and things like that, and they're doing all this
What
stuff.
are yoga people?
Mhm,
Okay.
yoga instructors and stuff, and they're like taking these trips, and I'm like, oh my god, how are you doing that? Like,
Because you're just, I'm not gonna say just, like it's nothing, but
yeah,
your income is just from being a yoga instructor. Like, who are you
yes,
instructing yoga to?
yes, it's like, and they're doing it, and they've got like sponsors and stuff, and I'm like,
I told you about the YouTube. I watched this video about a couple of different beaches in California.
Mhm.
This dude literally just goes, there's no words, there's nothing. He's just walking around showing you the environment of this beach. In his description commentary, it says, to help fund so that I can continue to post these type of videos, this is where you can reach out. There's comments of people saying, I made my donation, I appreciate your video so much. Can I do that? Can I just travel around and record
That's
shit for y'all?
the jealousy, resentment thing that I.
And I think that that's normal. I think it's normal. Because I see people shit all the time, and I'm like, oh, I want to go there, or I want to do that, or I want a new car,
Yeah.
I want a big house. Like, I feel like that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, I think jealousy and like inspiration, like, kind of go
Yeah,
hand in hand.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
definitely not like I don't wish that she didn't have it.
yeah,
I
like
just
just
wanna
teach
know, like,
me your ways,
yes,
because I
yeah.
want to do it
Show me the
too.
bag.
I wanna do
Like
it too.
I want to know. I want that bag too.
Like, you smart girl, how you making this work?
Yeah.
Like,
He probably lives out of a book back on that. I can
That's true.
Like, he probably just travels, like he doesn't have like a permanent rent. Or he's
Yeah.
one of them that lives out of like a,
In a van.
yeah.
he turned a van into a home type thing. Like,
No, I don't want to do that.
There's this guy who I follow on Instagram, and like I'd be all over his page because it's like so dope. But like his name is
B. Is that the B dude?
no, his name's Phil Walkie. He's from Milwaukee, but his name is Phil, so it's Phil Walkie,
That's cute.
right? But like he travels everywhere, but like he spends a good deal of his time like in Asia, like in all these different countries. And I'm just like, oh my God. So like him and like a bunch of other travel bloggers got together with REI, and they did like this minority like travel blog program thing where they went to like Greece and like 4 other places, and they did like a hiking trip. They did all of this like stuff that like African Americans typically don't do,
yeah.
like on vacation. And they just filmed all of it. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do this. Like, it looks so dope.
yeah.
It looks so dope. But I wouldn't say that I'm jealous of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm inspired by them. Like, I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not jealousy,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I don't,
would
it's
say
not
like
a,
I want to do that, but as soon as it was like, jump out this airplane. No.
There will be snakes.
Hike up this
Nope.
mountain. Nope.
Nah.
Mm-mm. Okay. I'm talking about they be doing like the real rock climbing, like getting up a mountain. Like,
Listen,
No, I'm not.
if we were hiking up that volcano mountain in the daytime and I would have seen how high and how narrow
they tricked shit out
that
of
shit was, there's no way I would have gone up. Like, it was literally the middle of the night, so it was dark. When it was daytime, when we were coming back down, I was like, which way did we come up? Because I don't remember this. Like, I was like, is this the same route? Is this the same mountain? Like, did we come up on the backside? Like, I'm confused.
Oh, that is too funny.
Yeah, but to be jealous because your neighbors are successful and they got this, I'd have been using it to my advantage. Like, y'all cooking tonight?
Yeah,
I know
right.
y'all got extra. Y'all mind if we come over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Us, the
Y'all get
kids.
together on the patio?
We'll be there.
We'll bring the ice.
Yeah.
The ice.
We're not doing anything. We come
Yeah.
over.
Mm-mm.
New car again. Can I get a ride?
Right? Let's carpool, Jeff.
Carpool.
Yes. Absolutely.
No,
I'm on your way.
Yeah, just drop me off. Don't even worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. We are good.
I do want a little bit more follow up from some of these people. Like some stories, I'm just like, okay, that wasn't enough for me. Like
Yeah.
I need to know a little.
Like, her ass needed to go back to work. Like, it sounded like
she needed to go back to work.
it
That's
sounds like
what
your
it
kids
sounded
were
like to me.
older at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Like, I get like the stay at home thing. I would love to do it if I had kids. Like, I feel like it would be great. However, everybody's not afforded that opportunity,
Right.
and they sound like they are not. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll help hold him accountable with, staying on top of the budget. No, sis, you need to go hold a job.
Yeah, 'cause
At
the
least
lifestyle,
part-time. So,
At least part-time.
the
Yeah.
lifestyle y'all are trying to live doesn't sound like you should be.
exactly.
Or even if
It
she
is-
just does it in order, because they were saying that like he was behind and like bills,
Yeah,
he was like
Just to
borrowing
catch him
money.
up.
Like y'all need to do something. Teamwork makes the dream work. Y'all need
Yeah.
to be doing something in order to
Indeed.
get this stuff caught up.
Indeed.
And then maybe you can go back to like not working. But like
Yeah.
this is not okay. You talking about you're gonna hold him accountable is just not sufficient
Yeah,
as far as
yeah.
I'm concerned.
So that's the one thing. I know we talked about like things that we didn't like about this book, and that's the one thing that there's certain stories in here that I'm just like, so what else happened?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
what else helped this person to get past whatever? Because there was one, I don't remember if it was this chapter or chapter 8, where it was the guy who was smoking weed, drinking heavily to the point that he was passing out, and he had a bad relationship
Yes.
with his kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, but you just told him that he felt bad, and that
And
was
you were like,
it?
good. He said, I feel bad about myself. She was like, good.
Yeah,
And
and
that was
that
her response to
and
him.
that was it. That helped him change his whole mindset. Like, nah, I need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
so I do like the personal stories, but then I feel like she's not telling us enough. Like, I need
Yeah.
a bit more.
Yeah.
Like,
These-
these part 2.
These three
Yeah.
were probably my favorite reads so far.
Mine too.
Like again, like I said, there's helpful points in
Yes.
there that makes you reflect on your own
Mhm.
BS. But I'm not hearing anything like I don't feel like I've heard before. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's new. I ain't never heard it.
Yeah.
Like that, But I mean, definitely like you said, makes you reflect back to
Mhm.
yourself, and the stories definitely help that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the self-help books are a lot of the same old, you
Yeah.
know, like you've heard it a time or two before. They just put a different spin on how
Yeah.
they're delivering it. But
Yeah.
and the crazy thing is like I love self-help books. Like I feel like I'm always reading them.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, help me save money. Help me be a better person. Help me
Yes.
find a tall man. Like all of it. All of it.
Specifically.
Like,
Farmers are usually tall.
stop it.
Because they got to be tall and buff to carry them.
You just making up stuff now. You don't even know no farmers. Stop it. What was that? What was that?
Ride a horse. You got horse with the bale of hay. Get the hay, get back on the
Do something
horse.
with your friend.
I don't think that there's
Do something with your
riding the
friend.
horse and carrying the bale.
This one does.
Oh, okay.
Talent.
All right.
So
Okay.
stupid.
So next time we'll be reviewing. We're finishing.
Yeah,
We're going
yeah.
last 4
Yes.
Yep.
for the next session.
So
We're
10,
wrapping it
11,
up.
12, and then 13.
Woo, woo.
And then any suggestions on our next book? Are we gonna let you guys decide? Or
Well, we got a couple of emails already
Yeah,
with
that's right.
just like a few
that's right.
just like book ideas. So like maybe we can just like compile all of those. So if
I
you guys have
completely
more,
forgot about
I
that.
like the idea we said throw them in a hat and pick one
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
suggestions we already
Yes.
got.
yeah.
So
I like that. I
let's just start
completely
there, and then
forgot
as we
about
get more, we just add them in.
Yeah.
that. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, I love it,
So if you
love
got
it.
suggestions on any books to read, go ahead and send those over to us, and at some point we will get to them. We're not gonna do them in any particular order. Just kind of throw them in a hat, pick one out, and go from there. So
So speaking of suggestions and emails and all of that, so the question that we got in email today, guys ready?
I don't
never
know.
know it yet.
I thought this was actually a really good question when it came through. So if you could turn back the time and talk to your 18-year-old self,
Woo-hoo!
what would you tell her?
Run, bitch, run! I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking. 18.
It don't even matter what I would have told her. That heifer was not going to listen.
Yeah. Right.
She was not going to listen.
Right.
I was doing my own thing. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I had it
I
all
definitely
together.
thought I had it all figured out
Yeah.
at 18.
On paper, in my mind, like, I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do. I was like, I'm a boss. Like, what? Like, I had a decent little car. I was going to school. I was one of my few friends that had, like, left. And I felt like I was like on my own. Granted, that was the poorest that I have ever been in my entire life. Like, ever. But you couldn't tell me nothing. I felt like I was like a real grown up.
Yeah.
Like if I had to tell myself something, it's like don't rush it. I feel like I was so pressed to like become a grown up
Yeah.
and like have all these responsibilities. And even when I was younger, it was just like, oh, I'm supposed to do this, and this. Like I had a very regimented like plan of like what I wanted in life. And I feel like I put way too much pressure on myself. So if I could like convince myself to listen to what I had to say, it would just be like, girl, chill.
Yeah.
Like, just chill.
Wow. At 18, I definitely thought I had it figured out. I had a car, an apartment, a job, full-time job, and then I started nail school. So I just was doing everything that I thought that I was supposed to be doing, and then I turned around and got married at 19.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I really thought I was an adult. And then we bought a house.
Oh my god.
It was really adulting.
I'm
Yeah.
really adulting.
Like
And
shit for
then
real.
had Deanya.
Yeah.
And I don't regret having an 18-year-old now, but to your point that you said earlier, I wish I would have waited a little bit too,
Yeah.
because when we separated, I didn't have that partying time when we would turn 21, and I didn't have that. So it was party then, and I have 3 little children now.
Yeah.
That it's like, bitch, you need to go sit
You
down
need to go sit
somewhere. And Thirsty Thursdays was a thing. Like as soon as they went, it's Thirsty Thursdays.
I think that's about the time we met.
Yes.
At the
Yes, Thirsty
That's why
Thursdays.
you was my friend, because I was on the same thing.
Yes.
2 for 1 strawberry daiquiri.
Yes.
No.
So
No. That just made me like almost throw up in my eyes just thinking about it. I had a flashback. I'm sorry.
So I mean, I don't know if it was more 18 that I would have said something, but more 20-ish when I got divorced, when I separated,
Yeah.
and that girl I want to have a conversation with. I want to talk to her. But the 18, I think she was okay. Just there was no reason to get married and have a house at that age. But
Just rushing to grow up.
yeah,
I don't know what it was. Like,
and interesting, all my friends were doing the same thing.
like
We all had gotten married young. Had bought houses because that was the time of like the house market. Like,
Yeah.
everybody was
everybody
buying houses.
everybody could approve easily. All
Yeah.
that.
None of us have those same houses. None of us have those same houses, but yeah, all of us was doing that around that age. At least my friends were. But now, yeah, no more.
Shit, I thought I was a boss, but y'all really was like doing boss shit. Like she talking about
I
buying
wasn't
houses.
buying houses.
Like
My sentiments would be the same. I just feel like at 18, I thought this is, I met Ishmael's dad when I was 17. So by the end of freshman year, I just thought like this was going to be life, and school became not important at that time. And I remember having a conversation with Ishmael's grandfather, and he was like, listen, go to school, finish school, get your degree. All this same stuff that you see out here happening in the streets will be here when you get done. I promise. The same people will be here doing the same things. I've never forgot that he said that, because I've regretted it
oh wow.
since then. Like, I remember him saying that, and I was like, damn it, why didn't I listen?
Yeah.
But I was so caught up in like, oh, this is my life now. Like, I thought I was going to be with him forever, and then Ishmael came, so I was like, oh, we really about to do this then, because I'm not going to be a single parent.
Right.
That shit fell apart, of course, because we were kids trying to live grown-up lives.
Yes.
Right.
And similar to you, I mean, it's about the time I met. You know what? Both of y'all. Both of y'all.
Yes.
I met you one year and you the very next. And it was at that time.
Listen, all I know is I was kicking it like 2007, 2008. I was kicking it.
You seen my stroll. Yeah, I wanna.
And you seen part of mine.
So I got my little stroll on. You know, it was
Yes.
short lived, but I did
Yes.
stroll.
Yes.
And
Wasn't short.
I mean, we had. Never mind. Same talk after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just in a rush to grow up, and then like you said, even after like splitting, then I was a single parent. Instead of like buckling down and really focusing and trying to get everything in order, I was still out here playing.
Yeah.
And I should have been getting serious, so that it would have been I should have been focused on that, like building not only my future but Ishmael's future too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we talked about the last week.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to play catch up financially of having things set up for him,
Yes.
and he could have had it way better. Not that I had money back then to do it either, but I could have did it 10 years ago
Yeah.
versus I ain't gonna say 10. I ain't 6 years ago
Yeah.
versus now.
Yeah.
And so just that.
Don't dwell on the past though.
Don't dwell on it.
Focus on the here and now. You doing it now.
I
That's all
definitely
that matters.
believe like things move around in life as they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, it's my go-to line, like, whatever's meant to happen will happen.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what you say, do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's God's plan, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
If it's
for
not His
sure.
plan, ain't shit you can say or do to make it happen.
Hello.
It's not going to happen. So you just got, and I'm not saying that just to be lazy, like, well, shit, just God, ain't going to happen, ain't going to happen. Is it, not like that. Like,
right.
you still give an effort, you still put in work for the things that you really want. But at the end of the day, like, what's
If it's meant to be,
is
it's
going to
gonna
be.
be. Absolutely.
And
It's cliche, but it's true.
it's true.
Yeah.
Especially when
Cliches
you're
are
praying.
cliches for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you're praying about things. Like,
No.
my prayer now is always just like, guide me
Yes.
on my path to what you
Mhm.
see for me. Not even like my own personal ones. Like, you guide me there, you show me, you give me that feeling or whatever, and I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm ready
Yes.
to,
Yes.
even outside of like a career, at this point in my life, I'm really just ready to, like, I don't feel like I've found my purpose yet. And I'm ready to do that.
Yeah.
Whether that's, I honestly don't think it's a career.
Mm.
I think it's something totally different. I don't know. I just don't know what it is yet. So
Okay.
that, yeah.
Yeah. That is so. I like that question. I wanna.
Keep sending them, guys.
Rewind the time.
Keep sending them.
I told that nappy head heifer, sit your ass.
Listen.
Like I said,
Listen.
this one gonna listen.
But to that point about going to school and everything, I'm pretty sure someone, my uncle or my aunt, somebody told me you need to go to school. And I was like, I got this good job at the bank.
I'm a banker.
I'm going to nail school.
Cause for real, back then, like, $13 to $16, that was a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even make
Now
that.
you'd be like,
Right. Like you
like,
talk good. You throwing
you
out.
want me to work for what?
Right. Like, I can't wake up. I can't even roll out of my bed for that amount.
I
But-
remember when minimum wage was $5.15.
I do as well.
$5.15. I was actually going to a job and getting paid $5.15. It's laughable, like when I think about it now.
Crazy.
Well, I remember being like when we worked at Everest, like, I don't know how I made it financially at that time.
Don't have a clue.
Don't.
And we
I
was like
think that-
10 minutes.
I think of that
You
because that
were
day.
paying.
Not only that, I had a rent. I was paying full rent.
Car
car
note.
payment.
Car
Car
insurance.
insurance.
Sometimes.
I had cable.
Car
I
insurance.
had cable.
Car insurance sometimes.
I had cable too.
I had cable.
I had cable.
Cell phones for
Cell
I had multiple
phones.
cell phones.
Making
Daycare.
Daycare.
And kicking it.
And I had a baby. Booby was a baby, so I had diapers.
Ishmael wasn't
She
baby,
wasn't
but-
in no formula, but she definitely was in diapers.
Yeah.
And I was still thirsty Thursday.
And we was
How?
making like $35,000.
Housewives.
Seriously.
And I was not shopping at Aldi's then. I was shopping at Kroger.
Girl, the good stuff. Giant Eagle on occasion.
Yeah.
I was at Giant Eagle because I lived right down the street.
I don't understand.
Houseway.
I don't
How was-
understand.
how
I
was
have
it
no
made?
idea.
And we were still like taking trips and shit. Like,
Yes.
Oh, Stacey's.
I don't understand.
Stacey's.
What's wrong with me today?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to
Okay, but I ain't have 10 cents saved in nobody's bank account, so
That's,
I was literally check to
That's
check.
oh,
like,
you know how I
That
was
is-
making
that
it.
is true.
I
I
got
was in
this.
school.
Oh,
Oh,
refund checks.
Yeah, I have refund checks.
Well, I didn't have daycare, so I guess all of my money just went to bills and booze.
But let me say that I did not have room. Like, I had Title 20, and I finagled. I can say this now. Finagled them letters.
I'm
But
gonna
that's
keep,
that shit.
keep my situation to myself.
I mean,
Ain't
I'm
nobody
not
gonna
gonna say
send me
what
a
I
letter.
said.
We seen on social media
Nah.
that back in 20,
I don't know what you're talking
2005,
about. I don't know what
you,
you're talking about.
mm-mm.
Well, I have nothing else to prove.
Job and Family
There it is.
Services, I said what I said. And I got the documentation. You have it. You seen it.
You have what I sent you.
We were just playing.
I was just playing.
Psych.
Now that Christmas is over, Walmart, thank you. Shout out to Walmart. Yeah, no.
Well, shoot, I was definitely wearing them little cheap ass heels from what was the store in Town and Country?
Listen,
Oh,
all of them.
What was it?
What was
I don't
that?
know. There were two of them though across the street from one another.
I know what you're
Between
talking
Simply
about.
Shoes across the street,
Simply
'cause I was
Shoes,
getting my
yeah.
shoes from there, but I also was wearing, you know what cheap ass heels we're
Yeah.
talking about, them plastic ass.
Yes, yes. And they came in all types of ridiculous ass colors.
All
Yeah.
colors.
I remember at one point I had like some lime green patent leather.
I know you had lime green.
They were lime green.
I had some lime green.
Patent
too.
leather.
I had those.
And
too.
I wore them things out, honey. Like, and I had like a matching patent leather lime green like
Mhm.
clutch. You couldn't tell me I was
No.
like,
I already know. I already know.
Was it
I already
Deb's?
know.
no. I mean,
Not
that
at,
was
not,
another,
at, not a ton of
that's another cheap store though. That's like where we got like homecoming dresses and stuff from.
I can't think of the name of the store in Town and Country.
No, but I know what you're talking
Yeah, we always going there. We'd go on lunch breaks at work.
Yep.
Yeah,
They got one in Northern Lights too, or had one. Is that the same place?
That's the Simply Shoe place.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, because I knew their delivery dates. Like, well, I know Town and Country gets their shoes in on this day because everybody had got hip to them, and then I knew Northern Lights got theirs on a different day. So depending,
I'm
on
not driving to Northern Lights.
Well,
Girl, you don't
I
drive
live
nowhere.
No, I don't. Well, I used to drive all the time, everywhere. That Mitsubishi Galant has all kinds of
Listen,
miles.
you've been with
I
that since
did.
I met you.
Yes, just got rid of her. And I was just thinking, since we dealing with this whole car issue, I probably should have kept her, but
For real.
I really probably just should have kept her.
Oh my goodness.
But
Look at old days.
yeah, I don't know how we made it financially, but
On
Don't
a
know.
hope and a prayer.
it sure wasn't like Chad Focus.
Woo!
His 4.1 million startup. from
My
his rap
Instagram
career.
friend.
Yeah, I cannot believe that y'all were friends.
Yeah.
She was like, I know him. I follow him on Instagram.
So for the people who don't know, go ahead and fill us in
Oh,
on Mr. Chad Focus
Mr. Chad
and
Focus
how he
had
finessed the fuck out of it.
had a great job. What was he? Social
No.
something engineer.
Wasn't it like a
Systems
system?
optimizer.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Something like a good career.
It
Good
sounded like
paid
he had
job.
an IT
Yes.
career,
Yes.
making great money.
Had such
Enough to get.
enough to get a corporate American Express card.
With apparently an unlimited amount.
Well, American Express don't have limits.
None of them? Yes, they do.
So they can deny you. Like if you say I want to make like a $10,000 purchase, they can
Yeah.
deny me. But there's no limit that says your card limit.
I know that
is
there's different
10,000.
types of American Express cards though. So like
I know they ain't give me an unlimited one because they just thought I was just the best slice of bread out here. Like, so I assume since I got, because I've never seen one. I've never heard anybody say they have a limit on the
that is
American
crazy.
Express.
That is crazy. I don't have an American Express
And I
card.
definitely ain't holding no black card. So
Well, see that. So I thought the black card was the unlimited one, and I thought that the other ones had limits on them.
so black card they won't deny it. That's what I think
okay.
that means. Like you
Okay.
can swipe for whatever amount you're not. You don't have to go back and get
Got
approved
you.
for that amount.
Got you.
or nothing. For mine, like if I was going to make if I was gonna make a big purchase, my best bet would be to check the pre-approval online and see if it would be approved,
Yeah.
and then go to the store and swipe because they can deny the purchase.
Yeah. That makes
So,
sense.
but Mr.
Anywho,
Chad
anywho.
Focus went on and swiped his company American Express card for $4.1 million, and it was over several years to start his rap career.
I'm sorry. One more time for the people. To start
$4.1 million.
And
to
have
start
you guys
his rap
ever heard of him?
career.
What was the stage name?
Chad Focus. It says Chad Focus here because that's the page that I follow. Which apparently I just found out that he probably bought my follow.
Yeah, they definitely said that he was
Um,
buying follows on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
He was cute.
He's in jail
one
now.
picture, so I liked it.
Yeah, he's in
I
jail.
followed.
He's definitely looking at like 20 years. They got him on like fraud and
They about to fuck
conspiracy
him
and
up.
theft and
You
Chad,
got
was
to
it
deal
worth
with.
it?
You got to deal with the company he worked for and American
Yes.
Express.
Yes.
They're about to bury him.
It's a wrap.
And
it's for nothing.
And for what?
I see what I just did there.
What?
I caught that late. I caught it late.
I missed it.
It's a wrap.
Ah! That's the hearing that everywhere. It's like people learn one word and then they like blast it
I've been
everywhere.
saying that
Double
for
entendre,
years.
and it was something we just was listening to.
Juxtaposition. Oh, that's my favorite word that I haven't been able to use yet.
I just heard the other word and I was like, why is everybody saying that?
What are you talking about?
We were just listening to it before we started the podcast. Like one of the stories we were listening to, they said it.
Oh, I don't know.
Come
Yeah.
back.
Anyway.
Let us know because it'll come back to you. And I want to know.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh,
There's that word again.
word. Everybody uses it.
I still want to use juxtaposition though. Like
Use it in a sentence.
I want to use that in a sentence.
Go for it. Do it right now. This
I
is your
don't
show.
know how to. Like I don't know what I could use to put it into a sentence. But I like that word a lot.
What is it?
Juxtaposition or juxtapose.
What's
So
the
it's like
definition, please?
two different things that are using the same.
Sounds like the Hucklebuck to me.
Here, let me look up the Webster.
It's like, have you been that way? What's that?
Here's
Here's
the
the
paper
paper.
too. Oh wait, here we go. I heard it on Mike and Mike when they used to come on, and ever since then I've been trying.
You've been waiting for a moment.
I've
Like,
been trying
just
to
about
use
I get it next time.
juxtaposition.
So when you first said it, I thought you were saying just a position.
That's what I thought she said.
No.
Just a
No.
position. Well, that's what I'm gonna say when I try to say it. Just a
Just a
position.
position.
That the act or an instance of placing two or more things side by side, often to compare or contrast or to create an interesting effect.
Hucklebuck.
Is this a juxtaposition?
Yes, it is. So is the Hucklebuck.
Yes.
The
Hucklebuck.
state of
Legs are side by side on either side of your head.
I hate you so much.
The fact that she goes to that so
Yes,
frequently.
yes.
Like,
And I'm trying to find it.
I'm just gonna say you and TJ are gross.
First of all, I'm not that flexible. Never hit the Hucklebuck in my life. Best believe if I could hit the Hucklebuck, my ass would not be in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I would be on somebody famous Instagram page.
Girl,
So
no, I was
used in
getting
a
somebody's soul in
sentence.
some random ass city.
I-
Get your student loans
I
paid
can't.
off.
Of course.
Yes, I would. Shake something strange for a little
Little
bit of
bit strange.
change. You know it.
Charisse Theron is bringing back this rock and roll pant these
You're
days.
stupid.
Fashion trends are all about juxtaposition. Used in sentence.
Wait, one more time. Wait a minute. I feel like I missed that.
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition. Juxtapo.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Juxtaposition.
Yes. Charisse Theron. Am I saying her first name?
I think so.
I'm never gonna remember this one.
Theron is bringing back this rock and roll pant these days. Fashion trends are all about juxtaposition.
I don't know if that really makes sense for what you said the definition was. Side by side comparison. What are we comparing it to? No one's gonna know what it means.
And
So
they're
the
just
next
gonna
time
think
you
you're
feeling
dressing
like
up
just throwing
juxtaposition.
something to shut a conversation down, be like, girl, juxtaposition.
That's
They gonna be like, she fucked me up when she said that. I didn't have no comeback.
And I don't even know how to spell
gonna
it.
be like, to the Google.
To the
Just a position.
Position.
They're gonna be like, what was she saying? What is she talking about?
Must be something on Instagram.
Mm-mm. Maybe she's talking about a new job. I think she told me to go get a job. She told me to go get a job in her life. That's what I heard.
Oh my goodness.
Too funny.
All right, let's wrap it up, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Looking forward to next week.
We're going to wrap this book
Yeah,
up.
get
I can
it.
finally take it back to the library so they can stop sending me
About
emails.
to cancel your membership.
Right.
I'll just go in there and complain and they'll just be like, whatever.
You're here to return it, fine. All right, guys. So as always, you can hit us up. Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes. That it?
I think that's all of it. I think you covered it all.
Okay.
Great job.
DM, commenting, any of that. Our email is nakdoffscript@gmail.com. Oh, even with the slide, you better get your high lows, you know.
Talent. Okay. Y'all know I can't. I struggle.
Hit us up an email
Yes.
with questions, show topics, suggestions for book readings,
Yes.
anything. Just hit us up. We like to talk to you guys. So,
All right.
all right. Until next time, I
Holla.
holla. Peace.